and welcome back to the Bandai-Namco Namkai Bando Bango special press event. This is Carlos Abdu, the Angry Elf. With me is Jake. Jam. Yes, the community manager for Bandai-Namco.
That's me, yes.
It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for inviting us over here.
Oh, thanks for coming. We're glad you guys come out.
Let me ask, how did such an event get organized in the first place?
So we organize a lot of events through our key times in the year. So we have a lot of games coming out in September, October, November. So during this time of year, we're in August, July, something like that. So we organize many events as we can. We have Comic-Con, Anime Expo, E3 on the West Coast. So we need to make it out to the East Coast and see everybody that we don't see at those other events. So we put this and whenever we have press events, I want to invite as many blogs, fan sites, YouTube channels, Twitch streamers as we can to see the games as well.
You seem to be very connected and very close to a lot of the fan communities, as most corporate powers, like I won't give any names, but would usually make this. I was kind of expecting a more hoity-toity event with like very stern, angry Japanese businessmen looking at the news media like they were weird gaijin dogs or something like that. So this is a lot more informal like that.
Yep. I mean, we all like video games, right? Video games are a relatively informal field. We're here when we can't be too hoity-toity. We're talking about Pac-Man, Lords of the Fallen. We're talking about Tales of. So we want everyone to feel comfortable, right? I just want to talk about video games. So
okay, it's funny that you mentioned Lords of the Fallen. I'm sorry, I'm going to put you on the spot. Why the embargo?
Why the embargo for
Lords of Fallen?
So which embargo are you referring to?
Well, a lot of people are playing Lords of Fallen, but we can't show you footage just yet because...
So, I'm going to change that rule right now. We are going to let you take some footage today, so you guys will be able to see some.
Awesome. So, among the games featured today, what is your particular favorite?
Well, I mean, they're all my favorite, obviously.
You got to, otherwise you're going to be out of a job.
Some highlights of mine personally are Lords of the Fallen, action RPGs, next gen. That's just, action RPGs are my thing. I love those. I'm a big Project Cars fan because of the development. I love Kickstarter games. I love those more grassroots development, kind of small dev team, really focused. I love that. And I also am really getting into Naruto recently. I'm not that much of an anime fan historically, but I'm really getting into Naruto.
The game itself is getting popular and more balanced, and with every iteration. I did hear the press event closer to EVO that the developers want to make this series more competitive friendly.
Yep. I think having a fighting game out there, maybe you make it pretty good, pretty accessible, and then after you do it, they've done a lot of these Naruto games in the past. After you do many iterations, you hear from the fans that they want it to be more balanced, more competitive, they want more features. So the CyberConnect 2, the developer, they're in Japan, they're amazing. They're one of the best I've ever seen at listening to fan feedback. So they're reacting to what they hear in the community. People say they want it to be, they want more characters, they want it to be more balanced, more competitive. That's what they're trying to do.
Be on the lookout. Naruto EVO 2017? Who knows? Anime can make their big debut. But it's funny you mentioned fighting games, because when everyone hears Bandai-Namco, one fighting game in particular has been on everyone's mind. What do you feel about Tekken 7?
Tekken 7 is very new to everybody, right? It was just announced at the whole project was just announced at EVO. We talked about it a little bit at San Diego Comic-Con. We put up the panel. Harada-san came and talked to some of his fans. We had a trailer. There's not much we can say. It's being worked on. It will come eventually.
Well, here's the interesting tidbit, because earlier Harada-san was heading toward EVO, but then he reneged at the last minute because IGN leaked the information about Tekken 7 before he got there, so ruining some kind of surprise. And it turns out it was not the game that he wanted to. Can you comment on that?
Harada-san was at EVO. He was there, and he made our Tekken 7 announcement there. There was the bit of a leak beforehand, and that's just, I mean, stuff happens, I guess. I mean, we were just glad to get the announcement out. I mean, leaks obviously are tough regardless, but I mean, nobody's stressing over it. We're just happy that the game's out there.
I have to inform you that Amazon also made a sort of leak by saying that Lars was available as a character, and some tentative name thing. What I wanted to ask you, as a community manager, with this giving this type of information to news sites, how careful are you now that all of the against leaks, against preemptive information for people who are too hyped or I don't know, too competent to handle your information?
You see it in video games all the time, right? Like we work with, let's say we announce a new game tomorrow. We want the pre-order pages to be up already, so we have to tell Amazon about that ahead of time. And then we have our agreements, we know people over there, we have to tell maybe somebody else ahead of time, and we know people, but we do our best to keep everything locked down, and 99% of the time it works just fine. Everybody's on point, everybody's doing what they're supposed to do, but every once in a while something will leak out, and we kind of roll with it. There's no reason in getting too worked up about it. We move on.
All right. So your fighting game output right now is going with Naruto, Digimon All-Star Rumble for the kids.
Which we just announced today.
Just announced today. It seems to be like for a beta, it seems very polished. It's coming along nicely. Then you have your other two fighting game IPs, Soul Calibur, which has just come out with Lost Souls for the PS3. Has there been any announcements in terms of anything new from Soul Calibur, or?
Soul Calibur Lost Swords is a free-to-play digital PSN game, and that is doing pretty well. There's nothing new that we have to share right now. I mean, not too long ago, we did, for those people who just want that hardcore Soul Calibur experience, we did a Soul Calibur 2 HD Online on PS3 360, so that's out there too digitally.
Will there be any plans to release any of the other Soul Calibur series, like 3 to HD?
We don't have any plans right now. I mean, we're always open. We're constantly reevaluating what brands, what IPs we have out there, what platforms are available, especially with the next gen. Like, we're always looking at options, but we don't have anything like official right now.
Speaking of new IPs, one of the new fighting game IPs that you guys released is Rise of the Incarnates for the PC. And can you tell us a little bit more about that?
So it's a 2-on-2 fighting game. Very much in this style. I don't know. It's like 3D action. You can be all over the place, flying through the air. We went through alpha, got a lot of good feedback. So we're going into beta. I believe it's August 8th is we're opening up beta. So get on the website riseofincarnates.com, check it out. We got a couple trailers out there. It's from a lot of people who worked on the Soul Calibur and Tekken franchises. That team's kind of working together on this one. So I mean, we're excited. It's a PC only, so it's kind of a different audience than platform that we've traditionally gone for. So it's something new that we're excited for.
All right. Switching gears to RPGs right now. The Tales series have been slowly, steadily building a stronger presence in America, but there's still like a lot of games that has not come out from Japan. How easier or more difficult has it been to integrate the Tales series into the Western market?
We believe that those JRPG, classic RPG games are still strong. Like, there's still people who want those. I want to play those. I'm a hardcore gamer. I believe there's a lot of people who want to play those. So Tales have just been doing better and better for us over the years, and we're going to keep on doing them. And one thing we've been trying to get better at is kind of lining up, getting our Western releases closer to the Japanese releases, right? Xillia 2 has already been out in Japan, and we're releasing August 19th, I believe. And for the next one, we want that to be even closer together. We want eventually to be a lot closer to Japan. We don't want people to have to wait over here in the West.
What Tales games are underway other than Tales of Xillia 2?
So Xillia 2, and then we have Hearts R coming for the Vita right after that. And a lot further in the distance, we have Tales of Zestiria, which we don't have much information on right now, but that will be the next big Tales game.
All right. And Namco Bandai is very well known for its anime licenses. do you have any information on stuff like, say, Dragon Ball Xenoverse or the upcoming Gundam game that's coming out?
Xenoverse, it's funny, when you work with a Japanese company, they have very specific things that you want to talk about at certain times. And yeah, I mean, we respect that, right? It's their game. We're here to help them kind of talk about it here in the States. So Xenoverse, it's being developed by Dimps, which I'm super excited for. The guys did a lot of Budokai games.
Awesome. And the guys behind Street Fighter 4.
Yes, exactly. We don't talk about that game here. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. So we're very excited for that. We don't have that much more. We got a trailer out there. We got a lot of screens, little information. I'm excited for us to reveal more in the coming months.
And I guess finally, more attention has been going into your iconic character, Pac-Man, than ever before. He has a new television series, Pac-Man and the Ghostly Adventures. A sequel for the game has just come out. And now he is going to be in Smash Brothers. How do you feel public perception of Pac-Man has been in the community?
I mean, it's weird, right? Like, some of us grew up with Pac-Man, and Pac-Man's so iconic for us. Some kids growing up now don't know anything about Pac-Man. You know, they didn't play that game on the Atari like the rest of us did.
It's very weird. I mean, you can play Pac-Man in almost any platform these days.
But so we're just glad in Smash Brothers. That's awesome. We're glad that more people are going to be exposed to the brand. We think Pac-Man's great. I think CDX Plus is super addicting. I love it. Ghostly Adventures 2 is coming out real soon, so we're excited to have that too. I mean, Pac-Man's kind of all over the place, and we're happy with that. It's cool.
Yeah, that just brings to mind that Namco Bandai is working closely with Nintendo on the new Smash. How is this collaboration going? I mean, how are both sides are able to create a unified control game? Is it like just Nintendo publishing, or?
I can comment very little on that because a lot of that's done on the Japanese side. But I believe it's a lot of development collaboration that, I mean, Nintendo in Japan, both Nintendo and Bandai-Namco are huge in Japan, and they have a lot of good relationships. They don't hate each other. So I think there's a lot of collaboration going on. But I mean, we can't talk about it too much here in the States because we do the PR, the publishing, the marketing, the localization. So we'll be able to talk about that eventually. We just don't have that much to say about right now.
What are your plans going forward to New York Comic Con 2014?
We're gonna bring some games there. We're hoping to have new builds of everything. When we go to new shows, we try to show a different demo or a new part of every game to kind of, keep interest high. So we're excited to meet. It's always great because we go to all the shows. We go to Comic-Con, we go to New York, San Diego, we go to Anime Expo, we go to E3. But not everybody gets to go to all of those. So we're excited to meet the different people at the different shows.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for inviting us here.
Thank you very much for coming out.
This is amazing. You should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah.
And the entire Namco, Bandai-Namco, Bankai team has done a very good job over here.
Well, make sure you get some Lords of the Fallen footage before you leave. We'll make sure we get some for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Yep.
This is Carlos Abdu signing off for TheOuterhaven.net.